Last night's game against the Colts is the second Baltimore game this season that's had everyone shocked, entertained, happy, stressed. You could name any emotion a football fan could possibly feel, and Ravens fans have felt them all on Monday Night Football. It's been an eventful 10 days for Maryland men's basketball. That is no secret, but the Terps dug themselves out of their rut today as 4 scored in double figures to secure a 70-68 upset. Terp fans get excited. Maryland football is going bowling for the first time since 2016.
I think I would make a really mean quarterback, though. I got a good arm.
For sure, but I feel like I could be like a slot receiver. Maybe I'm kind of too short.
Weren't you a kicker in high school, though?
Hey, we don't got to relive the glory days like that.
The bedazzled leotards of the Maryland gymnastics team have finally returned to Xfinity Center, which was also filled with rainbows, as the Terps home opener also marked their first ever Pride meet.
Well, Simone, Jeremy, I'm here at Capital One Arena where the energy is absolutely electric tonight, to put it lightly.
Coming off its first conference win, Maryland men's basketball had every opportunity to keep that momentum going against Rutgers today, and they did in the first half. Right now, the Terps are 4-2 on the season, which means they only need to win 2 more games to qualify. Here's the issue. Maryland will play 3 teams that are currently ranked in the top 10 over 3 consecutive weeks. Following the shocking mid-season departure of Mark Turgeon on Friday, Maryland men's basketball's offensive problems did not disappear overnight.
You know, we were headed into what was going to be kind of a make or break season, right? This senior season for him was something that he had placed a lot of weight on.
When Maryland running back Jake Funk suffered 2 ACL tears in the same knee, he turned to his brother, physical therapist Josh Funk, to help him make his way back to the field.
It is very rare that I have a long history with somebody before I get to spend time with them. So I think, if anything, having an appreciation for Jake and his psychology and knowing how he operates, I think that really goes a long way.
Despite a shortened COVID season, Jake made his hard work and recovery worth it, totaling 516 rushing yards, 68 in receiving, and 4 total touchdowns in just 4 games. It was here at Capital One Field that Jake ran in his first touchdown of that make-or-break season. And now, just 6 months later, he's NFL bound.
Who is it? Les. Oh my God. I'm going to LA.
In the 7th round of the 2021 NFL Draft, with the 233rd overall pick, Jake got the call of his life, and LA is about to get funky.
I was in shock. I was just like just kind of like not thinking it's real, right? When you got the call and you're sitting there waiting, and then you see your name on the TV, and it's like holy crap, like that is real. And that's a moment you dream about as a little kid. You watch NFL Draft every year. You see guys getting the phone call and the reactions by the friends and the family. And I mean, it was just such a surreal moment.
With his dream now achieved, Jake is thankful for the time he was able to spend with his brother in PT.
I'm very blessed, very fortunate to be able to have a brother who's a physical therapist. You know, he was able to push me on a different level, right? Because he knew me growing up. He knows everything about me.
And now he's looking forward to fighting for his spot on the Rams roster.
Wherever they feel is the best fit for me, owning that role, and then in hopes that I can, continue to earn more and more opportunities there on offense, on special teams, whatever it is. So just going in there with an open mind and trying to contribute and help this team win in any way that I can.
On National Signing Day, Travis Hunter, the nation's #1 recruit who was committed to Florida State, shocked a lot of people when he unzipped his jacket to reveal he'd be flipping to Jackson State. The promise of having more people and coaches to identify with at an HBCU is a major draw. So I decided to look deeper into how diverse the Big Ten is in its head coaching ranks when it comes to women's and Black-dominated sports.
One hand, I feel honored that I get this opportunity to kind of step into a really coveted role. And on the other hand, it's disappointing that there aren't more women of color who have either gotten the opportunities or who are, in these roles for a long, sustained period of time.
In 2021, the Big Ten filled all 3 of its open head coaching positions in basketball with people of color. Wisconsin women's basketball head coach Marissa Mosley was one of those hires, and she recognizes the value of her players having a Black female head coach to look up to.
You can't be what you can't access, right? And so even if you can see it, it's almost worse if you can see it and you can't access it. So I think for young women of color to see me in this position, to not only know it's possible, but that I can also tell them how you can go about doing that.
It's no secret basketball is a diverse sport at the playing level. Out of 28 head coaches in Big Ten basketball, 12 are women, 2 of whom are Black and 4 are Black men. In comparison to the other Power 5 conferences, the ACC has the Big Ten beat with 5 Black male head basketball coaches, and the Big Ten falls in 3rd place with Black female head basketball coaches behind the SEC's 5 and the ACC's 4. However, the Big Ten's 12 female head basketball coaches is the most in the Power 5.
Now, basketball isn't the only Black-dominated sport with a disparity in its head coaching numbers. Capital One Field here is home to Mike Loxley, one of 3 Black head coaches in Big Ten football.
I think what it means to me is that the Big Ten obviously is at the forefront, if not at least one of the conferences that it's important to them to have diversity.
When asked if he thinks the lack of diversity in head coaching plays a role in Black student athletes choosing an HBCU over a Power 5 school, Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren said he thinks the diversity is strong.
I mean, we all can do better, and we're focused on doing better, which we will. I think at the end of the day, our student athletes want to make sure that they play for coaches who can just help them to get better.
While Coach Loxley can't speak for his players, he knows he brings something different to the table when he's recruiting young Black men to join his program.
I do know when I sit on people's couch and some of the players as we found through the coalition that I started, 65% of the football players at the FBS level are minority football players, and that the representation of coaches is only around 13%, that there is a unique perspective that I bring when I go into a home, because a lot of these homes are a lot like the home I grew up in.
Coach Loxley and Coach Mosley say young athletes need role models and big dreams.
On the day I got into coaching, I dreamed that I would one day lead Maryland, and it's never going to be easy, and that you just got to continue to dream big and work toward achieving those dreams. And when you do have a chance to reach them, pay it forward by reaching back and giving back.
You can truly be anything that you set your mind to. If you don't see it, then go and make yourself that first so that other young women can see that it's possible.
And one important question to ask, who is making these hires? And is there diversity in those positions? The Big Ten has 3 Black and 5 female presidents and chancellors, and 5 Black athletic directors. That's all the most of any Power 5 conference.
When he left, I was lost. I mean, literally lost, wandering around the house. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anybody to cook for. I didn't have anybody to drive somewhere. I literally did not know what to do with myself.
When single mom Nicole Barron was going through the D1 recruiting process with her son, Jayshawn Jones, she found herself in an entirely new world.
I had no idea what to expect or any type of timeline or how any of this went.
Jayshawn's been here at the University of Maryland for the past 4 years, while Nicole's been keeping herself busy with her new passion project, Single Mom's Guide to D1 Football Recruiting.
There was a lot. And so I was unloading on all my friends, and they're like, you really should write this all down. Like, someone could really benefit from this.
I thought it was a great idea because there's a lot of other parents that are kind of in similar situations, or people with similar situations to that, where they haven't been through the process and kind of need help.
Nicole's advice ranges from early signing day to at-home visits, how to deal with coaches, scholarships, and to injuries, something Jayshawn has now dealt with twice at Maryland.
She's been a huge help in both processes, especially the first one. Like, because I didn't know what to do. Like, that was the first time I had ever had the game taken away from me. She just was there for me all the time. Like, if I needed a call, if I needed a text, FaceTime, she was there as much as she could be. It was tough, but she helped a lot.
She's even had a blast taking things to TikTok.
I enjoy it. He kind of rolls his eyes at my TikToks, but I have so much fun. I tease him all the time. I'm like, they should have never let me get on this app. That's my favorite part, is just I'm having a blast with it.
I'm so proud of her. Like, that's the biggest thing for me, is just knowing that she's happy. Like, that's all I ever want, because that's my mom. So that's all I ever want for her. And then just seeing that and having that come through is definitely a blessing.
Nicole says she's gotten tons of feedback and thanks from moms everywhere. And she has one piece of advice she wants all of them to know.
College football is a business. You cannot get emotional. It's a business, and you got to make sure that you as a product are going to fit well there and flourish.
Pass complete to Keyshawn Jones.
And I'm Katie Maher. Between the start of basketball season and the dwindling down of college football, the Terps have had a lot going on here in College Park, so we have a lot to get into.
Now that the first case of the Omicron variant has reached the U.S., President Joe Biden is addressing it with a new COVID plan. No shutdowns. John Gruden has officially resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This happened late last night, just hours after the New York Times released emails in which he made homophobic, misogynistic, and racist statements. While the pandemic has halted many clubs and organizations at colleges around the world, it has not stopped those dedicated to raising service dogs at the University of Maryland. With the lockout now in place, free agency has come to a halt. Players are not allowed to use team facilities to work out or get treatment on injuries. And if you were to go online to MLB.com, the players' rosters photos, along with the articles about current players, were removed. Now, it may be about to rain, but the crew is out in full force, ready to cheer on their Terps and hurl plenty of insults at the opposing goalie, as they usually do. The University of Maryland has opened a vaccination clinic and has begun vaccinating students, faculty, and staff. Now, I know that was a lot of basketball talk, and it's still football season, and if you're a Washington football team fan, you've got a lot to be happy about right now. From space junk to having the funk, the Terps have sent yet another player to the pros, and for the third year in a row, a Maryland running back has been drafted to the NFL.
You know, Steven, I know that the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry is up for renewal on Saturday, but come on. Two relatively newer Big Ten schools fighting for a bowl game that neither of them have really gotten a lot of in the past few years. That promises for some pretty good action. Now, just moments ago outside the White House, we got to witness a tradition that is 99 years old, the annual lighting of the Christmas tree. It's a big deal every year, and our Glory Guay is live and joins us with the festivities. Glory? Governor Jim Justice signed a law Wednesday banning trans women and girls from competing on high school and college teams, quickly drawing ire from LGBTQ+ advocates. Right now, the Terps are 4-2 on the season, which means they only need to win 2 more games to qualify. Here's the issue. Maryland will play 3 teams that are currently ranked in the top 10 over 3 consecutive weeks. But it was nice to be there. It was nice to see his parents on the court for that special moment in the first half, and I haven't heard Xfinity Center that loud and that packed in a long time. One team that definitely doesn't need any more losses, though, the Maryland women's soccer team. Maryland Athletics announced today that head coach Ray Leone is officially out after 6 years with the program. Pandemic recovery can also look like intervention work. In Maryland, the Montgomery County Council just approved an appropriation fund of $500,000 for a pandemic prevention and biodefense center. The speculation around Mark Turgeon's departure is all over the place, but what we're starting to grasp is that external factors really drove this decision. And one other note, parents, don't forget the sunscreen. It protects the skin and also can help curtail heat exhaustion.